My name's Tyson, and this is my garage in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. Yeah, so some fun things about the shop, some little Easter eggs are like old testaments to what the bike was. I got the old front end bars and brake lever up there. This is the old tank. It was the stock tank that I had painted, and it just didn't fit the style anymore, but you know, how could you get rid of something like this? So basically, when I was about 19, I had a scooter, you know, just something fun to putz around town. And I had a little bit of money in my pocket, and I was like, you know, maybe I should start getting into motorcycles. I had a dirt bike growing up, and that was fun and whatnot. So I scoured around on Marketplace, and I found a cheap little Honda 600 that would get me going, and a buddy of mine drove down with me to Red Wing to go pick it up. Immediately, I fell in love. That scooter went to the wayside. I pretty much sold it for scrap. The problem with it is I realized very quickly that once you have one, you might as well have two, and if you have two, you might as well get them a friend to play with. After about a month of riding the 600, I upgraded to an 1100, rode that all summer long, and I ended up getting in a pretty decent crash, and that's kind of where shit hit the fan, and I was like, all right, I gotta work on this or pay someone to work on it for me. I'm gonna work on it. I found some websites that sold some pretty neat bolt-on parts, and you know, I started nosing myself around, and I realized, all right, this doesn't seem too difficult. It seems like something anybody can do. So thankfully, it was in my stepmom's garage, and she's really cool, and she was like, all right, you know, you can work on this in here. I'll give you the space to do that. Started from the ground up. I pulled everything off of the bike. I cut off everything that I thought I could. I'm now realizing I'm gonna cut off way more. But you know, I was a little bit trigger shy. You know, I didn't want to ruin a perfectly good bike. I had never done this before, so I didn't know exactly what I was getting into. But week after week, I'd go there after work, working late nights, on the weekends. Pretty much all my free time, I was driving out there to go work on this thing. And before you knew it, it was spring. This thing was rideable, and you know, here I was, ready to go, ready to give her a shot. So this spring is when I threw the chopper on there, and that's when I decided I really have to clean everything up. Got rid of everything on the bars except for the throttle, which also means the front brake and the speedometer. We're riding dirty now. Still got the monster coolant catch. That's one of those things where I've seen other coolant catches, and it's like a liquor bottle or like some other weird bottle, and I used to drink all kinds of monsters, so this is just a testament to me, if you know me. We're rocking a coffin carburetor intake that I just made because my carburetor kept vibrating out, so I needed something to kind of hold it secure up against the manifold and not have to worry about pulling over to loosen the boot and shove it in and tighten the boot back up. This tank is new as of like a year ago. It's seen a couple paint jobs already. It's seen some gas damage from being left upside down when I was working on something else, you know. It's got a gas gauge in it, which I definitely needed, not having a speedometer anymore, not knowing how many miles to E. We completely tucked all the wiring up underneath the seat, so there was a electronics tank under there, but now everything is tucked neatly, or as neatly as it can be, up underneath the seat, so that way I get that nice pass-through look that I was looking for before. Especially since after the hardtail, I had so much less frame under there that I just wanted to eliminate as much as I could under there. I ended up adding some passenger pegs in, so that way I could have a passenger ride with me. And when I felt like standing up on the bike to pass somebody, you know, I had that option, get a little dangerous with it. Because I completely redid the rear end, I needed to do a whole new custom sissy bar and a whole new fender. This is actually a trailer fender from like Northern Tool. that I just kind of bolted to the frame with some random sheet metal, you know, just kind of throwing stuff together. My sissy bars, I've gone through like 5 sissy bars. So this thing is 5/8 thick, and it's got probably 12 passes with the welder on each side of it. It is not coming off. I relocated the license plate down here to the axle because, you know, with the sissy bars continuing to fall off, I just wanted to make sure, all right, you know, I'm gonna try to take some weight off of there, try to clean it up a little bit. This is just like a stock mount from like I think it's from Cycle Gear, but I had to customize it a little bit to get my light on there and get my plate on there how I wanted. And as it sits right now, it's not completely visible, but that's probably all right because I don't exactly want to be recognized on this bike by the wrong people. Yeah, this tire, it's still got 2 gouges in it. One from where my fender was falling off in Texas at Born Free, and then one for where I tried to mock it up to ride it after Born Free and realized putting a seat on there with no fender is not a good idea. Come with me to the other side and we'll check out what we got going on over here. There isn't too much going on this side other than a whole lot of deleting of things. So that's where I had my speedometer located, was right in this area. I deleted a lot of the frame down there, but this is the money maker. People are amazed by this antler that I put on there. I literally just found it in a house I was working on, drilled and tapped it and whipped it on there, and constantly I get, "You're gonna stab yourself with that thing. Why do you even have that?" That's exactly why I have it. It just makes people go, "What the hell? Like, what's going on with this kid?" Having a space to work on bikes and come out here and just kind of get out of the house and hang out with the buddies, you know, working on friends' bikes over here because they don't have the tools or the knowledge or whatever it is. I mean, it's just an amazing experience. I know it's not for everyone, but something about like just deep diving into a project. I mean, my friends have pictures of me with an engine completely apart in a one-stall garage in Northeast Minneapolis at midnight, and I got no shirt on and I looked like a maniac. But let me tell you, I was having a great time. It's something that, you know, it can really just like fuel me. Like it just puts a little like, I don't know, pep in my step, or I don't know how you say that. Like it's just a really cool thing to be like, this is me, you know what I mean? For anyone that's looking and getting into building bikes or into this community, you know, one thing that I wish I knew is like there is no buy-in, there is no bottom line. You don't have to have the oldest, most vintage bike or whatever. And you know, one thing that really helps with that is getting a Jap bike, because everybody knows if it ain't Jap, it's crap.